The one thing that I really think that you're gonna enjoy though, more than anything on this channel, which I think it's gonna be pretty epically awesome, so you know, don't take that the wrong way. Hey, welcome back to ZecsReef. You can see how excited I am to make this video, right? I got a really cool video for you today. In case you haven't noticed, I got some stuff out here for water testing. And then I got a water log sheet that I made. Look at that. You can download this sucker for free at ZecsReef.com. That's ZecsReef. Just look in the description below. I'll put, you know, here's a link. Here's a direct link. But then in the description, I'll add that link too. Okay? I dropped the link in the description for you, you know? So anyway, so we got a water testing log sheet. And then today we're gonna test a lot of stuff. We're gonna test the pH, we're gonna test the salinity, we're gonna test the magnesium, we're gonna test the calcium, we're gonna test the alkalinity, and we're gonna test the nitrates. And I wish that I had a nitrite and an ammonia test, but right now I don't have one. I'm not cycling a tank, and I just don't have one. You may actually also wanna have, well, not may actually, you definitely also wanna have a nitrite and an ammonia test kit. I'm gonna probably put the camera really close to the testing so that you guys can see what I'm doing. But I'm gonna talk to you about it, explain to you what exactly it is that I'm doing and stuff as I go along the way. All right, so I'm gonna do the salinity test first and the pH. So actually pH first and then salinity, because the pH can change as the water sits. And I'm gonna pull some water out of the tank for doing the tests. Because I'm gonna put it in this cup. I'm gonna put this cup right here on the table, and then I'm gonna do the, you know, the test kit stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get it. Just watch. I'm gonna make it look easy. You can do this, all right? We got this. Wow, that was quick. I mean, for you it was quick. For me, not so much. But now I have some water in here. I don't know if you can actually see it or not. Just spilled a little bit on the floor. Probably shouldn't be doing that. Don't tell anybody. Comment down below, like, subscribe, you know, do all that good stuff for the video. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, let's get started. I'm gonna test the pH using the pH probe, and then we're going to test the pH using the drops. And then after that, I'm gonna use the refractometer, and I'm gonna show you how it works. And I figured out a way to let you see inside the refractometer with a camera. This pH probe is pretty old. It came with the tank. I have tested it, and it was working. I'm not sure exactly how perfect the pH is because I haven't calibrated it yet, which is why I'm gonna be using the drops today. But anyway, this is a pH probe, and I do recommend pH probes, and eventually I'll sell them on my website. But if you look here, pH probe, we're sitting at, right there it actually says 8.4 and 78.5 degrees. The tank is actually running warm. I don't really like it being at 78.5. It could be one of the reasons why the frog spawn looks a little stressed out. I need to actually bring that temperature down, but it's saying, you know, between 8.3 and 8.4 on the pH scale. Probably about 8.3 is what I would call it for this thing. But now we're gonna put this to the side, and we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way using drops. All right, so I'm gonna do the high pH test range for salt water. Now, I will say I need 5 milliliters, so I got this syringe here, but I'm supposed to use a test tube, which did not come with this piece of the kit because it probably got used up or broken. And I didn't get it with the tank, and I don't have it. I haven't bought a kit yet. Let me just be honest here. I haven't bought a kit yet, okay? Don't get mad at me, don't get mad at me. I'm telling you, there's ways to save money in this hobby. One of them is buying a tank, which I'm gonna do a video on. I know, I already told you I would. All right, so we're gonna put 5 milliliters in here. We're gonna put our drops in. We're gonna test it. We're gonna see what happens. So there we go, there's 5. 5 milliliters going in. I wouldn't wanna get stabbed with that thing. Use it for like mushroom spore stuff. It does, tell you another day. All right, so now we're gonna take this guy, right? When you're ready to unscrew it, put your thumb on the red and twist the cap. If you don't put your thumb on the red and you just try to twist the cap, it will not open. Put your thumb on the red and twist the cap. 5 drops, fully inverted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Whatever, it's 5 drops. Don't be mad at me. Ooh, it's actually a little bit darker than I thought it was gonna be. Our pH probe may be off just a little bit. We're probably sitting closer to 8, 8.1. Not really sure. I'm gonna suck this up into here so we can get an accurate reading, and we'll see what happens. All right, here's our color, and here's our card. We're gonna put our color up with our card. I'd say from where I'm sitting, it looks like it's probably right around 7.9, 8.0. I bet the alkalinity is kind of low on this tank. That's probably what it is. We had 8.3 on the probe. We've got about 8. So I'm just gonna write down 8.1 for our pH. 8.1. Yeah, I think that's about right for me. Really should have the date on here. I guess I can put it on. And it's about 6:30 p.m. So it's the evening time, but the tank hasn't turned off yet. It's gonna turn off soon. We're gonna fill out the rest of this now. Temperature. All right, so it was just shy of 78.5. And it's a little high. I actually like my tanks to be between like 72, I don't know, maybe up to 76. You can go up to like 78, but I don't recommend it, you know? And if you start going over like 79 or 80, you can start getting some coral bleaching, and you really don't want that. So I'm gonna write that temperature down and we're gonna continue. The way that I do these sheets, you can basically write it however you want. It's just got some space in here, and you can download this, like I said before. Check the description, link, you know, yada yada, throw a link down, all that good stuff. Write it in however you want, but for the most part, this is gonna be 8.1 to 8.4 probably is where I like to be with a reef tank now. I mean, it changes over time. It really depends. I mean, everything depends a little bit, but I give some basic figures in my book. If you check out my book, link in the description below, Saltwater Fish and Reef Tanks from Beginner to Expert, this book right here. We're gonna do the calcium next. Oh no, we haven't done specific gravity yet. Boy, what is wrong with me? Let's do that now. Specific gravity, we're gonna measure the salinity. All right, so for the salinity, we're gonna use this, it's called a refractometer. And I calibrated this refractometer a little while ago using RO water. And so now we should be getting a pretty accurate reading. I'm assuming because it was off that my salt content may be a little high, but I did do a water change with slightly lower salt content water at like 102.2. So I could still be around 102.5, 102.6. I don't know, we're gonna find out right now. I could be way off. I mean, I haven't tested this tank very much since I got it. I've been kind of letting it go for a couple weeks so that it can get, you know, get itself going. I'll look at it and then I'll tell you guys what it is. Ooh, 1026. Almost on the dot. Man. 35 parts per thousand. Yep. I'm gonna go wash this real quick. I'll be right back, and we're gonna move the camera and we're gonna get closer, and we're gonna start really getting into some nitty-gritty tests. The next thing I was thinking, we would do the nitrates. Because I did just move the tank, you know, a couple weeks ago, and I should probably check the nitrate levels. I've done 2 water changes, but, you know, 2 water changes, 2 water changes. It is what it is. I'm gonna do a nitrate test. So here's the instructions. I'm gonna read them to you. I'm gonna do the medium range test right here, 2 to 100 parts per million, because I think we're gonna be pretty low, but it's not my tank and I haven't had it for a long time. I just got it, so I'm assuming there's gonna be some nitrate in here, especially since it was kind of in disrepair. And we're gonna fill a test vial with a milliliter of water. We're gonna add 4 drops of the NO3 to that. And then from there, we're gonna add 1 level scoop, this little red scoop right here. Add 1 level scoop of this stuff, the NO32. And then we're gonna swirl it basically. You just swirl it gently for like 30 seconds. And then we let it sit for 3 minutes. When we come back, we do a color comparison with our color sheet. So let's get it done. Get that 1 milliliter of water. We're gonna pull it out of here. 1 milliliter going in. We're gonna take our NO3. We add 4 drops of the NO3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get 1 level scoop of the NO32. And we're gonna press it up against the side, it says, to get a good level scoop. There's a good level scoop pressed up against the side. We're gonna drop that sucker in there. And we're gonna put this cap back on. Remember, these chemicals can be dangerous. You don't wanna leave them out where kids can get to them. Now we're gonna take this and we're gonna swirl it for 30 seconds. You don't always have to swirl these things for a full 30 seconds. Usually it's not the chemical reaction they're trying to get done. The chemical reaction is usually instant. Most of the time what it really is they wanna make sure that everything is properly mixed. So they tell you to mix it for 30 seconds. All right, so that, wow. Well, either this tank has no nitrate at all, or it's pretty perfect. I think it's just, honestly, you know, I think that the Chaeto in the bottom has probably removed all the nitrates, because I got Chaeto in the bottom and I keep a light on it at night. So I think we have 0 nitrates in this tank. At least 0 that we can read. I think it's probably because of the Chaeto. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna write that number down, 0 ppm. Let's clean this up and we'll come back and I'll knock out the calcium, the alkalinity, and the magnesium tests. We're gonna be using this test kit now, the Red Sea test kit, and we're gonna be checking the calcium first, and then I'll check the alkalinity second and the magnesium third. But this is a completely contained, self-contained kit. Sadly, there's one piece actually missing from the kit, but that's okay because we don't need that piece. It's just a little container like this, and it being missing is not a big deal because we're going to use this one from the Saltwater test kit, and that should work just fine for this test. Sometimes you won't want to do that. Sometimes the chemicals will be something that can actually damage plastics, and you have to use glass or something like that. So you got to be careful, but this one we should be fine. So we got our Calcium Pro test kit right here. It's going to tell us that we have to put 5 milliliters of liquid into this little guy. Then we've got to put 5 drops of A. So we got calcium A right here. We'll put 5 drops of this in there. Then we're going to wait 10 seconds while we rotate it back and forth a little bit. And then we're going to put the titrant in, which is B. And that is going to be this little guy right here. Titrant with a little spoon. Then we're going to take 1 milliliter of calcium C here, and we're going to put that in slowly, and we're going to count the number of drops that go in basically. And then we're going to flip the card over, and on this side, it'll tell us from the amount of titrant that we used, what our calcium level is in the aquarium. Let's get that 5 milliliters. Here's our 5 milliliters, putting it in. 5 milliliters is in. Next, we're going to put in our 5 drops of this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 of that one, calcium A. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to mix this for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10. Okay, now we're going to take this guy and we're going to put 1 scoop, just 1 scoop. So just tap the side of it a little bit until it's level. That's what a level scoop looks like if you can't see it. Well, I guess the camera's not going to focus right there, but it's just a level scoop. We'll put that in there. If I could just get this little thingy in here. There we go. All right, got it. Yeah. All right, now we're going to mix this for 20 seconds. 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. That's a little fast. 18 Mississippi, 19 Mississippi, 20 Mississippi. All right, we're well mixed. Now we're going to take this calcium solution, and we're going to take some of that calcium solution out, and then we're going to drop it in there just a little bit at a time. So we're going to take one milliliter out exactly. We're going to bring it all the way up to 1 milliliter. You don't have to worry about this air bubble that gets in here. That air bubble is only taking up the space for this area here. And when you extend it all the way back down, it pushes all the liquid out and the air bubble is the only thing that's left. I mean, for the most part. So you don't really have to worry about that. All right, so now we're going to do this and we're going to mix it, and we're trying to get it to turn blue. Almost there, it looks like, at least. Well, can't really tell. It's a lot of drops. Come on, it can't be that bad. Come on. There it is. Look at that, just changed. No, you can't see it. We used 0.8. That says 0.2 at the edge. We used 0.8 titrant. Calcium's right about 400. So this tank's got pretty good calcium right now. 400 parts per million. Anything north of 350, 400 is decent. 400 parts per million. All right, I'm gonna go wash this container out and clean this mess up real quick, and we'll move on to the next one. And we're gonna find out how much the alkalinity is. I need 10 milliliters of liquid to go into this container, and then I'm gonna slowly drip it in and shake it. And then when it changes color, we're good. So I'm gonna get that 10 milliliters right now, and then we're gonna drop that in there. Technically, you could do this with less, but there's no real reason to. It's not expensive enough to worry about that. All right, so we're gonna take this KH liquid and open it up. Put 1 milliliter in here. Let's put this cap back on first this time. The directions say that I should take it and I should add some to it and shake it a little bit, and then add some to it and shake it a little bit, and just keep counting. And on the back, if you look, you see right here it says how much titrant we used, and then the alkalinity is on the side with it. So let's do this. We're looking for it to change color from blue to green, okay? So here we go. Change is usually quick when it happens. Almost. I can see it wanting to change. One more drop. I'm going to call that the end. We used about 0.71, maybe 0.72. So we use 0.72, and we're going to go down to there. Our DKH is right around 10.0, or our mex per liter is right around 3.6. So I put down 10.1 on the KH, but the truth is, I usually like to keep my alkalinity a little bit higher than that. It helps maintain the pH and the oxygen in the aquarium, and just overall, it's good for balancing out the parameters. So I might have to dose some of that and do another video on dosing. All right, now we're going to clean up this, and we're going to move along to do the magnesium. And the magnesium, we're going to be checking with a titrant, just like everything else. So we're going to use 2 milliliters of water. Add 1 drop of A, shake for 15 seconds. Add 5 drops of B, shake for 60 seconds. And then use 1 milliliter of titrant until it changes from pink to blue. And then we will use that to find out on this side where our magnesium falls. I'm going to take 2 milliliters like it says, 2 milliliters of water. And then we're going to take magnesium A. We need 1 drop. 1. Okay, and be careful with those drops. They come out quick. And then we're going to shake that for 15 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 13 Mississippi, 14 Mississippi, 15 Mississippi. Okay, so we got that 15 seconds. Now we need 5 drops of magnesium B. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look at that. 5 drops in there. That's the color it starts out as. And then we're going to mix this for 60 seconds. I'm just going to look at the timer on the camera. All right, there we go. That's 60 seconds. And we're going to set that down, and we're going to get that titrant that we need right here. Here we go. I'm going to pull in 1 milliliter of titrant. There we go. We're at 1 milliliter right there. And now I'm going to take this, and we're going to do 1 drop at a time until it turns blue. Well, it's not really going to be 1 drop at a time. We're going to do a few drops in the beginning. But the idea is to do 1 drop at a time. Although if you know your magnesium is somewhat low, you can start with a couple drops. You should always go slow with your test kits. Wow. We used up about 0.86. So let's look on our little kit here. We'll see that we use 0.86 titrant. Oh wow. So our magnesium is pretty high. It's over 1600. It's probably like around 16, maybe 1660, 1670. It's pretty high magnesium, but it makes sense. This guy had magnesium liquid, so probably been dosing magnesium in the tank, maybe not have been testing for it. I'm going to call the magnesium 1700. All right, let's write that down. 1700 parts per million. Makes my 1350 sound kind of sad now, doesn't it? Yep. All right, we're going to put this away, and I'm going to reset the camera up. There you have it. We've done water testing with the test kits. Yeah, and this is all of our numbers that we got right here. Once again, you can download this water testing log free on my website. Check it out down below. Go to the store, look for downloads or whatever, I don't know, but it's there. So go get it right there at the link. And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, do all that good stuff. Thank you. Yes. So what we wound up with was the aquarium was at 102.65 for specific gravity, which is okay because it could go all up to like 102.7 before it starts causing any types of issues in my experience. Our pH was like 8.1. I'd prefer it to be like 8.3 or 8.4, but 8.1's not that bad. That's what we averaged it at. But I mean, I'm gonna probably need to calibrate the probe. Maybe I'll do a video on calibrating the probes, and then we'll redo the pH. But about 8.1 is about where it's at. Temperature was kind of high. 78.5 is a bit high for me. I like my tanks to be like between 72 and 76. There's a problem with that is when you're in a house that's 76, the tank tends to be just a little bit warmer than that 76 degree temperature. So the tank's set at about 78.5, which is a little high, but there's nothing in here that's gonna die from it. It's all pretty much okay. Although I will say, frog spawn's a little puffy. Could be about the temperature. I doubt it, but it could be. Calcium, we're at 400 parts per million. Not bad, not bad. I'd like to see it a little higher. Maybe all the way up to 550, 600. I don't know. I wrote about it in my book. You can check that out. This book, right here. Yeah. Link in the description. I'll just do it that way. Link in the description. Magnesium, Oh, sorry, alkalinity. Let's go to alkalinity first, then magnesium, right? Duh. So the alkalinity was like 10.1 DKH, and that's not bad necessarily, but I like it to be a little higher than that. It depends if you have a reef tank or a fish-only tank. I've seen DKHs a lot lower, and they were fine in like a fish tank. But in like a reef tank, you want to keep that alkalinity up. It helps balance the water parameters and the pH, keeps it from swinging at night and stuff. So it's good stuff to have. Magnesium, 1,700 parts per million. It's got to be because this guy was dosing it that I got the tank from, which is good. Magnesium helps with the corals. You know, a lot of people don't realize magnesium is important for like calcium absorption and a lot of other things. So, and then I did nitrate, and the nitrates came out at 0 parts per million. So pretty happy with that. All in all, I'd say that the tank is in pretty good shape as far as the water parameters go, considering the fact that I just got it 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, or however long it's been, and moved it here. And it had to go through a mini cycle, and I've done some water changes, but you know, the Chaeto mixed with everything else, mixed with the water changes that I've done, seem to have worked pretty good for this thing. So that's where we're at. Download the water log test sheet. Comment down below, tell me what you'd like to see in another video, because remember, I'm gonna be doing user questions. I wanna answer them for you, so put them down there. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, check out the website, share the video. I'm only asking you to do like 5 things. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, check out the website, share the video. 6 things. Share the video. 6 things. So, see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. This is ZecsReef, and I'm Zach, signing off.